Hey, what's up mortals? It's Noah here with a new video for you. In this video, we'll dive into the character Mystogan from the anime Fairy Tail. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying sit back and relax, cause you're in for a treat. So, let's get started. There haven't been many anime that have made such an impact like Fairy Tail with its wonderful story and colorful characters. Dressed in a black robe and wearing a mask to cover his face, Mystogan has many magical abilities, but they're limited since he comes from a different world known as Edelis. In Edelis, magic is not made naturally by the user, but rather the citizens use magic staves to conduct the magic. This is what Mystogan had to do, but it didn't mean that he wasn't a powerful mage. In this deep dive, we're going to analyze and explain the life and history of Mystogan. Mystogan was born under the name of Jalal, and he was the son of King Faust, which made him the Prince of Edelis. During his childhood, he got himself injured, but Panther Lily, a humanoid cat known as an X-Seed, saved him by healing his wounds. Eventually, Jalal became very unhappy with his father King Faust because he was using an interdimensional spell called Anima to steal magic from Earthland. Earthland is a world parallel to Edelis, and the land where Fairy Tail takes place. Earthland has an unlimited supply of magic, which is why King Faust was trying to use it to replenish Edelis' limited supply of magic. Faust then used that magic energy to begin conquering the other regions of Edelis. Hoping to stop his father's senseless campaign, Jalal left Edelis through an Anima portal and entered Earthland in the year X777. That's when he adopted the name Mystogan and traveled the land in search of more portals in order to close them for good. During his travels, Mystogan found a young girl named Wendy abandoned by her guardian, the sky dragon Grandini. They both traveled together for about a month, and during that time, Wendy was the only person in Earthland that knew that Jalal's actual name was Mystogan. One day, he suddenly sensed Anima's presence, which was the machine that was used to suck all the magic energy to Edelis. Mystogan knew that it was going to be dangerous for Wendy to travel with him, so he placed her under the care of Robal, an older man living nearby. In X782, Mystogan suppressed Anima and joined the Fairy Tail Guild, becoming an S-class mage. He was aware that there was a counterpart of himself in Earthland, and for that reason, he stayed distant from the other guild members. He would always keep his mask on in order to hide his real identity from them, especially from Urza, because she was actually friends with his Earthland counterpart. Mystogan was considered an enigma to the guild members because he barely showed himself in the guild. He would only come around to accept guild missions, and when he would do so, he would cast a very strong sleeping spell so that nobody would ever see his face. The only wizards that are able to resist this spell are Loxus and Makarov. During the invasion of the guild Phantom Lord, Kana Alberona tried to contact Mystogan through her magic card, but failed. Although he wasn't physically fighting beside Fairy Tail, Mystogan spent the entire conflict defeating all of Phantom Lord's subdivisions all on his own. He secretly visited Porliuska to prove that he helped Fairy Tail by scattering their flags all across her yard. He also revealed that he was the one responsible for regathering Makarov's magic, which he used to defeat the Phantom Lord Guildmaster. Afterward, Mystogan visited the Fairy Tail Guild and listened to Makarov's encouraging speech about the bonds shared in their guild. Sometime later, Loxus attempted to take over the Fairy Tail Guild, so Mystogan had to step in and fight. He confronted Loxus in the Cardia Cathedral, demanding to remove the Thunder Palace spell he had cast around Magnolia. Loxus decided to challenge him to a fight to prove which one was the strongest Fairy Tail member. However, Mystogan had no interest in fighting Loxus. Loxus succeeded in provoking him into attacking by calling him another, indicating that he somehow discovered his identity. Their explosive battle attracted Natsu and Urza, who arrived at the cathedral to confront Loxus. When Mystogan noticed Urza, Mystogan quickly turned away to keep her from seeing his face. This gave Loxus the chance to attack Mystogan and hit him right in the face, breaking his mask. When Urza saw his familiar face, she began to cry because she thought that Jalal was killed in the destruction of the Tower of Heaven. Mystogan told her that he is not the Jalal who she knows. Without a deliberate answer from Mystogan, he teleported himself out of the cathedral, leaving the confused Natsu and Urza to fight Loxus. Months had passed since then, and Mystogan discovered that Wendy had joined Fairy Tail together with her cat friend, an X-Seed named Carla. He later appeared before her, and Wendy was shocked to see him since she had already met the Jalal from Earthland when he was arrested by the Magic Council, whom she mistook for Mystogan. Their reunion is short-lived as he told Wendy that he had failed to stop Anima from taking all the magic away, warned her of the city's imminent destruction, and had to escape the city. Wendy refused to run away and wanted to warn her new guild, though her efforts proved futile as the city of Magnolia and all of its residents were swept away in the Anima portal. However, Wendy survived along with Natsu due to their Dragon Slayer magic, and Carla and Happy as well. The four of them traveled through the Anima portal to save their friends in Edelis, while Mystogan searched for other people who may have survived the city's destruction. By sheer luck, he found Lucy Heartphilia, who was saved by her celestial spirit, Horologium. He also found Gygeal and Red Fox, and instructed them to look for the Lacrima and turn all of the Magnolia residents back to normal. Mystogan then made his return back to Edelis, searching for a large remnant to give back to the Lacrima crystal to Earthland. Thanks to Natsu, Wendy, Wendy, the rescued fairy tale mages, and all of the Exceeds, they managed to prevent the Lacrima from being rammed into Extalia. That gave Mystogan enough time to send the Lacrima back through the portal, thus restoring all of Magnolia and its residents back to normal. He also had the chance to reunite with Panther Lily, and repaid him by saving his country for taking care of his wounds when he was a kid. But the celebration was cut short due to Urza Nightwalker, Urza's counter-double from Edelus, which led the Edelus royal army to retaliate against the Exceeds. Mystogan tried defending his comrades by revealing his identity as the Prince of Edelus to Nightwalker, but is rebuked by his father. The king accuses him of selling out his country and closing the anima portals. Due to Mystogan's actions, the king no longer considers him his royal son. Faust ordered his army to transform the Exceeds into Lacrima and attack the fairy tale mages. Mystogan fought his father, holding him back as long as he could for his comrades to escape, but is blasted to the forest by one of the Dorma Anim's cannons. He was able to survive the attack and found Panther Lily. He brought Panther Lily to the chamber in his father's castle, where the anima portals were created. He successfully reversed anima, knowing that there would no longer be any reason to fight over it without magic. However, it also caused the public to panic since they didn't know how to survive without magic. Mystogan revealed a plan to Panther Lily for containing the terror. Mystogan would paint himself as the villain who stole away Edelus's magic and was planned to be publicly executed by Panther Lily. By getting Mystogan executed, this would then mediate the misunderstandings between the humans and the Exceeds. Panther Lily objected to that plan, and instead offered to become the villain instead of Mystogan, and Mystogan would act as the hero. But Mystogan didn't want that, because his initial plan allowed Panther Lily to have a happy life. Panther Lily continued to argue by saying he wanted Mystogan to have a happy life as well. Having reached an impossible situation, Mystogan then conceded. The two are suddenly interrupted by a guard who explained that 3 individuals are destroying the city. At first, Mystogan believed it was an ordinary riot, but he was amazed to discover that Natsu was the one causing it. He began shouting that he was responsible for defeating King Faust and stealing the world's magic together with his underlings, Red Fox and Marvel. All of this was an act, of course, and as it turned out, the Exceed Naughty had overheard Mystogan's plan to act as a villain, and revealed it to the 3 Dragon Slayers, who decided to do that plan themselves. Natsu then challenged Mystogan to a fight and exposed him as the long-missing Prince Jalal to the public. Mystogan went into the city to stop Natsu, thinking that his actions won't fool the public. However, he was surprised that everyone around began to cheer for him in the fight, knowing full well that Mystogan doesn't intend to return to Fairy Tale. The two of them finally clashed in battle, and Natsu pretended to be defeated, and the entire city cheered for Mystogan and his victory. Mystogan said goodbye to Panther Lily and all the Fairy Tale members as they returned to Earthland. He then turned to the people of Edelus and declared himself as their new king and ensured their survival without magic. After being crowned the new king of Edelus, Mystogan delivered punishment upon his father and the royal army's former captains. He banished his father from the royal city for good, while he sentenced Nightwalker, Hughes, Sugar Boy, and Byro to help reconstruct the city with all the townspeople. Despite the former captain's disapproval, Faust accepted his punishment and left the city. Mystogan then raised his arm and made the signature hand gesture that all Fairy Tale members do, and began the reconstruction of Edelus. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for checking out the video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I have a few quick announcements for you all. Firstly, if you're in the mood for some amazing storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our other channels, Naruto What Ifs and My Hero Academia What Ifs, tell the story of their namesake anime, but with a crazy twist. So definitely go and check those out. And next, I just want to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. And lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to offer you an invitation to the team. There's a link in the description that leads to our recruitment Discord, and from there, you can sign up for whatever you're interested in. We are always looking for new members, and there's tons of different roles to fill. You have to be 16 or older to join the crew. And that's everything for today's video. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.